it going, Sha?
Oh, that's an excellent question, Gastor. How is it going? Huh. I hadn't really taken a moment to think about it, or I've been thinking about it so much that I can't land on an answer. I mean,
Okay.
ultimately, fine? Question mark.
Okay.
Um, and this honestly, again, isn't based on anything like specific. Like I'm not in here with a issue that I must take to the streets. It's more of a quiet, huh? How is it going? I think I am entering a time of serious introspection,
Mm.
right? Because I am. It's a notable. Um, like my birthday's in a few weeks, and it's a notable one. And even if you don't want to, you still end up just kind of sitting around going, "Huh? Well, I'm at this benchmark. What have I done? Like, really? What have I done?" And if you try to sit and think about that, you may not stand up. if, you, if there's nothing necessarily, if you feel like there's nothing concrete, it's like, what have I done? What would you like to do? And how do you think you're going to do the things now that you know that this much of your life is gone? And you know it's a countdown at this point. How do you what do you do? So those kinds of things have been swirling in my head for the past few days. So when someone asks, hey, how's it going, I don't know how to answer anymore. So fine.
Okay.
Fine, question mark.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm sure everyone else is doing the best they can and all of that stuff.
Yeah, that's deep. I
Yeah, sadly, it's unexpected deep moments.
my my parents are they're older than you, but they are, I believe, going through similar.
Mm,
Yeah, like my dad is really like ramping up his out of state work.
mhm.
He's we've been like, I think I've mentioned on the podcast, we've been like making small investments in some things in like North Carolina.
Oh,
Um
right. Yes. Okay.
and I'm partner with him on one of the things. But he's gone back and he's bought 3 businesses at this point down there. And he does not live in North Carolina.
Are
Uh
they going to move? When are they moving?
and that's the thing, like I'm like there comes a point where like like up here you own property, but like it kind of runs itself. And like
Mhm.
the new thing is that he's adding is all down there, and they're all um they're like, I would say like one level, like one like a business adjacent to what he's done, but something that he should be there for.
Right.
So yeah, like yesterday, um I was gonna take him to the airport. Their flight got delayed, so we ended up hanging out in their yard until the new flight time. And for the first time, mom asked me, hey, would you move to North Carolina?
Mm,
Because normally, like, mom treat like, come to think of it, it's a lot like me and Gabby. Like, dad does wild shit all the time, and
mhm.
mom is like, yeah, sure, honey.
Mhm.
But like, my dad is just constantly like coming up with like a new business he wants to try,
Oh.
and then like he actually does like 1 out of 10 of them. But
Mhm.
like when they're like in a pattern, she's like, oh, this is a thing. So
Okay.
and she kind of gets on board,
Yeah.
when she sees he's excited.
Not enough respect is given to the people who have to be by the side of the risk takers and the entrepreneurs and the you miss 100% of the shots so you don't take and all that shit. Now, no one talks to the person who's next to him who's like, all right, let me go start dinner. Like,
I seen this dude miss 98 shots
yeah.
so far.
Like, all right. Well, in the meantime, let me wash clothes because.
Yeah, yo, she's a real one. She is definitely like the source of reason in the house. So like when she mentioned it, like it hit me like, oh, they're giving this real thought now for the first time. It's
Mm-hmm.
not just like my dad's random like inspiration of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Um so yeah, like I think they're like, and for my dad, I know I get his like I'm seeing his reasoning. Like I think that while they've done well here, um he's feeling priced out for him to continue to invest the way he has strategically, and he
Right.
still mentally wants to do stuff. He still wants to be involved in business and grow,
Mm-hmm.
but he wants to have a controlled risk. He's like, I've worked hard for what we have. I want to leave it to you guys, but I
Right.
still want to be actively investing and working on something.
Mm-hmm.
So for the first time in 40 years, they're considering moving.
Mm.
The last time they literally like changed countries.
Right.
So like this is significant, you know?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
But yeah,
Okay. Well, I
I think that's
mean,
going around, yo.
yeah, I guess so. Just kind of a maybe it could be just going around if everyone hitting a certain point and just going, all right, what are we really doing here? I mean, I definitely hear you with regards to being priced out.
Yeah,
Like the situation in New York is such that like a lot of people are having these thoughts like, can I continue? Because I kind of have nowhere else to go within these confines. And what do I do? And also, your parents would be making that time honored trek of, well, let's go down to the south and slow down for a hot second. Or let's take the speed down here to the south. They're not going to know what hit us. And it's like, yeah, you're not even the second northerner I've dealt with today talking about how y'all move so much faster than we do. We just move differently. And
yeah,
then that kind of adjustment that has to be made. People in the south don't have to adjust to the northerners. People from the north have to adjust to the south. And
word up.
so that's keep that in mind. Uh but yeah, so I guess it is that's a tough decision, but if your mom clocked it, it's probably going to happen,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
I think so. I think they're gonna make that move. I think
Yeah, but now it's a matter of will you make that move with them? So now they're
I
trying to move everybody down there.
yeah, I think I'm their best pitch. That's
Mm.
the thing, because like my siblings are so much younger than me that they still have like hope, like
Mhm.
that they could figure out the New York ecosystem and all of that. And admittedly they have huge advantages, right? We own stuff here. They're young
Right.
enough that they'll be able to have a full career with those things in
Mhm.
place, whereas when I was that age, I didn't know that they were gonna have those things.
Mhm.
And I'm at an age now where like I gotta start being realistic of like, hey, what can I achieve and best set up my kids with? And admittedly, there would be a lot of advantages to being around my parents, and owning a house in the South is easier than
Mhm.
owning a house here. I
Mhm.
could sell this and buy 3 houses down there.
Mhm.
So stuff like that. Gabby would get a yard, all the plants would be outside. So I'd be happy with that. My
That's cute. No, you will still have a sunroom full of plants. There will still be a room full of plants in addition to other plants being outside.
what are the things that like you would be weighing on? Like what, like, yeah, like I guess I'm curious, like what would make you feel good when you're like looking at those moments, like in retrospect?
Well, that's a tough one because of my internal voice. I can talk myself down from anything that would, in theory, make me feel good.
Right.
So I am working against myself and trying
Okay.
to, and it's been years and years of that, and I'm tired of it. But man, that voice is strong in my head. Just like, I mean, I could do this all day. And I'm like, I know, I wish you'd stop. So, but just like, all right, I basically have moved through life with very little plan, not much of a plan at all. Um, and so, I am about to be 50. And it's like, okay, so now what are we really doing? Not which seems wild. I think maybe at 40 I should have been like, okay, what are we really doing? But what I did instead was uproot my life and move to New York. So that was like, okay, my brain going, what's really going on here? And then I said, I don't want to think about it. Let's just go to New York and see what that's like. So it's, what am I, now I'm like, okay, so I've been here about 9 years or so. Once again, what am I doing? What do I want to do? Um, am I happy with most aspects of my life? Because you're not going to be happy with all aspects of your life. So the parts of your life that you're happy with, is it enough? Do you want, are you willing to turn down the heat on those and try to raise the heat on other parts of your life? These kinds of things. What do you feel like you're missing? And are you willing to do the work to maybe bring that into your sphere? That kind of shit. Um, and so like for me, moving to New York is closely tied to comedy.
Right.
The reason I did it, otherwise I would have stayed in Atlanta because I mean, at the time I was like, oh, New York is far too expensive, and I really would need a good reason for me to go, and comedy ended up being the reason. Now I've done um I mean, if I really sit and look at what I've done in comedy, I've done well.
Right.
I've done well. And I'm happy with all of that. So now it's like, okay, I believe then there is another level that I'm supposed to be working towards. And why am I reticent about it? Why am I scared? Why am I reticent? Why is it taking me so long to jump in that water? And then just assessing that. And then like, it, like, am I actually reticent or am I tired? Do I feel like I had no plan? This isn't bad. Am I shooting myself in the foot? Do I just want to go back to Atlanta? Can I even afford to go back to Atlanta? Like what now everything just seems kind of wild. Um what am I doing here? Basically is like what's kind of floating in and out of my brain and
Yeah.
trying to think of what that is. And and trying not to regret whatever I've done thus far, whatever decisions I've made that put me in this place, trying not to regret anything or, oh, I should have, or I wish I had, or blah, blah, blah. It's too late for that now.
Right.
But, you can get caught if you're in your head too much and you're me, you can't get caught on that type of thing. So, just trying to push, myself. Um, and then me also being a big old lazy elephant that don't feel like being pushed and just a tiny little mouse trying to push this big old lazy elephant and that kind of thing. So do I continue to push the elephant if I'm the mouse? Do I continue to push the elephant that is myself? Or as the mouse, do I run in front of the elephant where the elephant sees me, screams, jumps up and runs off in a direction, and now we're going in that direction? I really don't know what that metaphor means or did, but that's sadly how my brain just processed that moment.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's it. I mean, I I put on things that I think will inspire me, like
Okay.
people talking about stuff, and then I watch it and I go, well, good for them. And I don't take in the part. Look at them. I'm
Look
like,
at you
that's
go.
not, yeah, that's not, you're doing inspiration wrong, I think, Shalewa, possibly. So,
Every TED talk just sounds like a rapper talking shit.
yeah, I'm just like,
I
yeah,
made it.
yeah, great. What's the next track? Like, I don't,
I I remember when I was in 8th grade, I was studying for my confirmation in church,
mm-hmm,
and they would have a retreat where like we would go away for the weekend, and we would there was like a big emotional moment on like Saturday night of the retreat after we've been together a couple days,
mm-hmm.
where they would sit us down in like a gymnasium or something, like a big room, and they would hand us letters from like our parents and our siblings that they had written that we didn't know about.
Oh,
Yeah, telling us, that they love us and what they want for us and that they're proud of who we are. And I remember like as I've gotten older, like thinking that, you know, agree or disagree with the rest of the stuff church related, that was dope. Like that
mm-hmm.
moment was really cool because like I realized that like my pop sucks at verbalizing this shit. This is probably easier for him.
Right.
Probably the only time I've gotten that kind of info from him. And I think people need moments like that of like reassurance. Like I feel like every time I have self-doubt, it's kind of like to your point, it's cause I'm too in my head. Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
alone too much with my thought. I need other people.
Right.
Case in point, the last like 2 weeks I've been emo as shit
Oh,
because
yeah.
I didn't have people here. Like
Yeah.
I needed the noise of other people so that when I'm saying something wild, there's people there to say that's just dad being silly. Like I
Mm-hmm.
need that. Like so that I feel like it checks you off. Like if no one tells you you're silly, you start to believe that the crazy moments just as much as the real ones. Like your legit thoughts and your that's a negative thought. They're too close. They sound the same. It's the same voice.
Right.
you
Yes.
know,
It's the
it's
same
the same
voice.
voice. So like
Uh,
you need like someone else to be like, yeah, but nah, cut the shit.
mm-hmm.
And in turn, we do that for each other. So like, yeah, I wish there was like I almost wish that was a birthday tradition. Like, yo, like on your let's go give a reality check to Mark on his birthday. You know?
Maybe find another name for it because that sounds
Yeah, like a loving one.
like, yeah, but that sounds like it can go sideways very easily.
Yeah, fair, fair. But like
But,
that's the vibe. Like, cause the reality check was positive. It's like, yo, you doing dope. You know what I
mm-hmm.
mean? You got promoted at work. You got 6 weeks vacation. You got a girl that loves you. You know what I mean? You got a duplex. Like, just like stuff that like to yourself could be like, yeah, but I only have. Let
Right.
other
People are
people
like,
see
oh,
it and be like, nah,
you,
you have. Like, that's
right.
dope. Um, I think you need to hear that every now and then from people that are witnessing your life up close
Mm-hmm.
and appreciate you as a person. I think it's good for centering.
Yeah. 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 It's, I guess the whole thing about just kind of changing, the inner voice that is, bad news and being like, for me, it's a lot of, honestly, um, feeling good about what it is that I've done
Yeah.
and feeling good about setting goals. Cause like I said, I've been moving through just like whatever. And so when I decide, okay, I want to do this thing, immediately that voice is like, bitch, who is you? What is this? A goal? Oh, that's cute. Immediately, immediately.
We doing these now?
Oh, okay. Look at who just found out about the word goal. And it is, yeah, yeah,
Maybe
it's a
that's the
lot.
secret. We should picture someone we could beat up and have them be our inner voice.
It's me. I can beat me up. I am beating me up.
Oh man, I'm gonna see if I figure out an alternative for you. But
Okay, yeah,
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 we got
sure.
we got to get to that. But you are allowed to have goals. You are crushing it at life, Sha. Okay.
Yeah, it's I gotta. It's fine. It's fine. Question mark. It's all great.
Oh man, let's get into the news, Sha.
All right.
Let's do this. Monkeypox.
Oh no.
That's right. Got to start off with the happy news. Monkeypox outbreaks is spreading. Who declares global health emergency officially? The On July 23rd, the World Health Organization declared monkeypox a global public health emergency, just 1 month after the agency determined the severity of the outbreaks had not reached an emergency level at the time. The outbreak quickly spread to at least 75 countries, with more than 16,000 cases reported, primarily among men who have sex with men. The latest WHO announcement came after the second meeting of the International Health Regulations Emergency Committee, which was unable to reach a consensus about the severity of the outbreak. Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, I think I said that right. Uh,
I don't know. That was a lot.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm positive I said that wrong, but that's what it looks like to me.
Mhm.
The WHO's director general overruled the committee by declaring monkeypox a public health emergency of international concern. Wow.
Okay. So, let's just get into this right now. Um I would did a live show recently that was a podcast called Stradio Lab,
Okay.
hosted by George Severus and Sam Taggart. And so they did like a live show and I was on it. And they have a segment on their podcast that's called Straight or Gay. And they just throw concepts at you. And you have to decide right then whether or not that concept or that idea or whatever it is that they've tossed at you is straight or gay. It's very fun, cheeky fun, right?
Okay.
So they tossed monkeypox at me and they're like straight or gay. And I said, monkeypox itself is straight is gay. Monkeypox is gay, but the marketing is straight. And by that I mean
Okay.
since we've started talking about it and the immediate framing was this only affects gay men.
Yeah.
And I was just like immediately I'm a child of the AIDS era. So immediately once they start saying that I was like no, no, that's not How do you get monkeypox is not a thing that only affects penises if they've been inserted into like an ass, in which case still straight dudes.
Yeah,
So
it's still
yeah,
straight
so
dude.
still not I was like, that's no, that's not right. That's not I like and I'm like, I can't believe we're going through this again. There are a lot of things I can't believe we're going through again. Hello, polio. What's up? Um where you been? So I was just like, that doesn't sit right with me. And so as we're getting more information about monkeypox and how it's spreading and all that other stuff, there still seems to be in a lot of the coverage still like a line or two that's just like, and gay men, y'all watch out because you're the ones that get, and I'm like, no, that's not what's happening. So someone I follow on Instagram, you may know him as Joel Kim Booster, the homie Joel Kim Booster,
Indeed.
posted in his stories a repost of something by an organization, Queer Nation 3000, I guess.
Okay.
And it was uh, like an infographic of activity risk rating for monkeypox transmission. So it breaks it down into most risky and what it is that you can do that's in the most risky category, more risky, possible, unlikely. Now, look, I know I know that infographics are basically picture books for adults.
And I
I know.
appreciate them. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it's not going to give you all the information. Like, you get the basics of how to tie a shoe. I understand that. You know what I mean? You get a nice little story about a frog and a toad, and it's a little bit of information, but it's also in pretty colors so that you'll react to it and respond. That said, I looked at it and was just like, huh, this might be helpful for people to know if you just glommed on to the whole thing of like, oh, it's only happening to gay men, because it ain't. So in the most risky category, the most risky thing that you can do, uh, with regard to monkeypox transmission, is either have direct contact with someone who has the rash or the scabs or whatever, someone who has it, direct
Okay.
contact. I feel like that is the most risky. Yes. Or sexual or intimate contact. Now, we all, myself included, are out here having sex. So that's not only for gay men.
Gay people, yeah.
That's out there. Also, you should know that condoms do not protect against monkeypox.
Yeah.
So,
Unless the rash is specifically
really,
on the tip of your
on the
penis.
yeah. So there's that. More risky: kissing, cuddling, dancing at a crowded party inside with non-fully clothed people.
Makes
So
sense.
there's that. Yeah. Possible: sharing a drink, sharing a bed, towels, or personal toiletry items, dancing at a crowded party inside with fully clothed people. Um, Unlikely: dancing at a party outside with mostly clothed people. What are these parties? I don't want to. Anyway, now again, this is unlikely. Dancing at a party with outside with mostly clothed people,
Okay.
coworker to coworker transmission, trying on clothes at a store, touching a doorknob, traveling in an airport or on a plane, in a swimming pool, hot tub, or body of water, in a public restroom or on public transit, at the grocery store or coffee shop or a gym via equipment, which is good because I was yesterday very scared about monkeypox and was trying to surf while on the train, and it was not working out for me.
Oh my God.
So I just wanted to throw that out there. This was as of the date that we're recording, which is the day before you're hearing this, or at least the day before we're releasing the podcast. So I don't know 100% how, but it made me feel better.
Yeah.
And it also, if you, after reading all of that, if you heard all of that and you still were like, "Nah, gay men, you're a problem. You're a monster."
Yeah. Because
It's
like
like,
I've noticed a few times with these things, they don't even say gay. Like they try to sneak gay men in it. Like
mm.
they're like, this is something we've noticed when men have sex with other men.
Right,
Like this term, like like they try to like slide it by, like
right,
because they know there's gonna be like issues if you just say something very wrong.
right.
And I feel like this is something blatantly wrong. Like this, it's one of the few times where I feel like medically, like, yo, y'all are smart. Like this don't make sense, right? Like we should be
Yeah.
past this point.
But we know they're not past it because remember the time that black people couldn't get COVID?
Word.
Remember that? But I was just like, that's because COVID was bougie then. It was only on private jets. That's why. It wasn't us.
COVID was
It
living it
was
up, baby.
yeah,
Admittedly,
COVID was new. It was coming to America. It was on the concourse. Like it was,
and to be
yeah.
clear, like if I'm monkeypox after hearing all of these party descriptions Shalewa just gave, I'd want to be at gay parties too. They sound amazing. I
Yeah.
want to be, I want to be making out with shirts off. Like this sounds awesome.
Yeah.
It sounded like the place to be. So monkeypox,
Right.
I hear you. I understand why you want to be there.
Why you want to be all up in the mix.
Yeah,
I
maybe
get
that's
it.
it. It's not even. It's monkeypox trying to spread this noise. Like, yo, listen, I'm the thing to have at these events.
Look, you may have something there because I've seen it abbreviated as MPX, and I gotta say that looks tight. I gotta say,
Yeah.
branding wise,
Yo, they got something.
okay, you out there, okay?
Oh man, yo, copy
So
some MPX. You know what I
yeah, you
mean?
know what I mean? Like that kind of rolls, that kind of hits.
Oh man, get high off that
Uh,
MPX.
I mean, look, it's gonna sound good in a verse, is all I'm saying. It's gonna sound good in a verse, and I feel like Monkeypox knew that. It had time to sit and think about it. Like, what's our handle gonna be? You know what I mean? Like, it figured it out. It figured it out.
Oh man, stay safe out there, everybody.
Yeah, and
Sincerely.
I hope I truly hope I don't offend, but I just needed to bring that up, kind of just like, hey, that I see what's happening with this, how they're getting the word out, and it's bullshit. Um, look into it. It's a virus. Like the virus don't know. The virus don't care. Have we not seen how viruses kind of don't care?
At all.
And they'll just hit you no matter what. So
Straight up.
now is I don't think a virus is reading a paper and going, "Oh, I'm only supposed to be whoops." That's a shame because I just hit a bunch of kids.
Straight
So
up.
yeah, like what? So again, I certainly did not set out to offend, but I just want to point out some bullshit when I see some bullshit, and that felt bullshitty to me.
Anybody
Yeah,
can get it. Viruses. That's their whole like
exactly. That's
ideology.
their whole. Yeah, that's their quote. I don't know if you heard that quote from them. Anybody can get it.
Oh man. In other news, young adults in the US are much more likely today than 50 years ago to be living in a multi-generational household. Successive
Mm.
generations of young adults in the United States cope with rising student debts and housing costs. Multi-generational living is increasingly providing respite, res,
Res- respite.
respite from the storm. Quarter of U.S. adults ages 25 to 34 reside in a multi-generational family household in 2021, up from 9% in 1971.
Mm.
Multi-generational living, that is living in a household that includes two or more adult generations, typically consisting of those ages 25 and older, has increased amongst all age groups over the past 5 decades, but the increase has been the fastest amongst adults 25 to 34. And
Huh.
yeah, 1971, similar shares of adults across the age groups lived in multi-generational households. But by 2021, young adults were far more likely than older adults to have this type of living arrangement. Hmm.
All right. Well, it sounds to me like you're gonna be moving in with your parents
Straight up, baby. Let's do it.
in a big old house in North Carolina, and I can't wait to read that pilot of 3 generations. Oh, that covers everything. Three
Oh man.
generations in a house of New Yorkers in a house in North Carolina.
Oh man. Running a septic tank business in Raleigh and Durham. That's what we do,
Oh,
baby.
wow. Okay. So we go, okay.
We got a
All
whole
right.
show, baby. It's gonna be crazy.
Wow. Wow.
Then I read this and I felt I felt very blessed and privileged that this is not my
Mhm.
situation. You know,
But
like
isn't it though?
yeah, it's close enough, right? They live a block away.
Yeah.
I see them
Yeah.
daily.
Mhm.
But yeah, like I don't know that space, that mortgage, it it warms my heart a little bit that like I have it.
Mhm.
But yeah, like it this is real. Like I have a lot of friends in this dynamic, and not only that they're in it, but like I don't see an exit plan. Like
Yeah, I
they're
mean,
in it.
the thing is for years, for generations, for centuries, for eons, this has just kind of been what's done. The family units just kind of stay together or whatever, and they're close if they're not in the same house and that kind of thing. So it's not in some countries that's just understood,
Yeah, I'm
you
not
know?
against that. You're right. Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah,
dope.
but uh it it's wild because it's coming off of, I guess, maybe 2 to 3 generations of go out and forge your own path and get your own house and all of this other stuff. Like get yours and have it be yours and that kind of thing. And for it now, because of a lot of it is dictated when you said the ages of the people, that are now in the house with the folks. It's like, well, yeah, because right now it's rough for them. Nothing
Yeah,
is being left. The opportunities for them feel like they're dwindling.
yeah,
And also opportunities for the older, like that's like why you do it, right? You kind of, if y'all hopefully get along, you take care of family and all that kind of stuff. Especially, and this may be notable. No offense, white folks. Maybe this is news to you, but people of color have basically been doing this shit the whole
forever.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah, because that's how we make sure, because nothing's promised. So we need to make sure we're taking care of our own. It's part of the reason why it's so hard to grow generational wealth, because for Black and Brown communities, because we're doing generational care, and
yeah.
that's taking up all of the wealth. Whereas, as we all know, white people are quick to throw an old person in an old folks home. And we've been told that that will be our ass. So,
Big time. That's one of the few fights me and Gabby have had has
mhm.
been whose parents would move in with us
Ah,
because we're both the oldest kid. And like,
ooh,
yeah. So she's like, well, my parents is moving in. I was like, well, my parents is moving in.
mm,
And I was like, listen, let's let them get old and we'll figure it out. That's kind of where we settled. But we don't we that's one of the few things that we didn't have, like we've never gotten to like a happy place.
right,
Like if that comes up, we like both know to just like leave the room. Like we don't want to fight right now. you know?
right, yeah.
But
So
yeah, yo, we
it's
don't do it.
yeah, it's to be expected. So,
Mm-mm. But yeah, no, it was just like a little sad to me, I guess, because like that age group is supposed to be the group that feels like they can take the most risk,
right.
and head out there, and unfortunately, they haven't been able to, and
Mhm.
that's I'm hoping that that balances out at some point later. I don't know how, um, but for that generation, that's
Yeah.
a big setback for a lot of those people. And and the thing is, like, I know my experience of this is skewed, but like I know that like not all 25 to 34-year-olds are comedians. Like
Right.
there's others of y'all out there with like that like you did
Real.
normal stuff,
Mhm.
and you shouldn't have to be in these dynamics if you don't want to be. If you want to be dope, you know what I mean? If that's like culturally what you're into, or if you're doing it to save money or for whatever other reason. But the fact that it's like 25% of us and that it's the biggest ever, um, just it saddens me a bit because it means that like the whole sales pitch of like what we were told of the American dream isn't
Mhm.
happening for this whole group.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, they gotta like reimagine what it means to be from here. Um, on the bright side, you know what I mean? Rent some cool apartments out. Say you lived, in Times Square for a year. Who knows? Do
What?
something
Who?
crazy. You know,
What?
like get like three of y'all together, rent out a studio in Times Square. You
What?
know,
Your family members?
and like live up there in the studio, but have a crazy view. You know, do some
Oh,
wild shit.
like young people wild shit.
Yeah, yeah,
But do that with your folks.
yeah. Like you could get like yo, listen, for 1 year we gonna live tight, but we gonna live in it. Like just getting a cool experience out of it. If you're gonna be in these situations.
That is insane. There's no way. I don't know. Yeah, okay. Talk your parents into sleeping in a hammock for a year just to save money.
I would get them to do the Murphy bet, and I would do the hammock.
Well, that's understandable. A Murphy bed in New York for a lot of people, that is the only
Yeah,
way.
that's sick.
Yeah, but that's not too wild. But what's wild is like, I don't know, like sleeping in someone's closet. because they have a walk-in and you can fit a twin-size mattress in there.
Oh
So
yeah,
now that's Rodney's bedroom. Rodney got to walk through your room to get to his bedroom.
Stay out your sister's room. This is my sister's room.
Right, like, oh boy, that kind of thing.
I'm rooting for y'all. You know.
Yeah. Good luck, Rodney.
With that said, I got no apartments open currently.
Of course you don't. Who does? No one does.
Yeah, that is a surprisingly large amount of my DMs. So just put it out there whenever I can, every now and then.
Oh, really? People asking if you have anything available?
Regularly, I get like, hey, I'm a big fan of the podcast, so I love your comedy. You got any apartments open? I'm like, you heard like my jokes, and you were like, yeah, I want to have that guy in charge of my living situation. Yo, I don't know what you like. I don't know what landlords are doing out there. They're like, I'm like the happy landlord.
Yeah, they are
wild.
fucking up right now. They
Yeah.
are wilding. They absolutely are wilding. I've been reading some things, and they are like, we're going to get this money back from COVID come hell or high water. And they are literally trying to put you face down in that high water. They do not care.
Y'all are tripping, B. It's people.
They're trying to get named as beneficiaries on life insurance policies. These landlords are crazy out here. They tripping.
Oh my God. Y'all are wilding out right now.
Yeah, it's a lot. They doing a lot.
Oh man. In other news, chess playing robot breaks a boy's finger at a Moscow tournament. That's right. A chess playing robot broke a boy's finger during the match in Russia last week. The president of the Moscow Chess Federation told State News. Sergey Lazarov said the incident occurred at the Moscow Chess Open after the boy rushed the robot. Oh, robot broke a child's finger. This is, of course, bad. Lazarov said the robot was rented by us. It has been exhibited in many places by specialists for a long time. Apparently, the operators overlooked some flaws. The child made a move, and after that, it was necessary to give time for the robot to respond. But the boy hurried. The robot grabbed him. We have nothing to do with the robot. Yeah, I can't. Yes.
Oh, Sergey. All right, Sergey.
The boy continued to compete in the forum after his finger was put in a cast. That's what said on Thursday. The incident happened this week on Tuesday. The child played the next day, finished the tournament in a cast, and volunteers helped to record moves. Yo, this is the most Russian story ever, yo. Robot broke finger. We play on. Like, this is freaking dope, B.
Okay, let me. All right, let me.
God.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to see what the move was. Okay.
Yo.
After the boy rushed the robot. Okay, so the kid made a move on, I guess, the chessboard. I almost said on the dance floor. Whoops. So the kid made a move, and then you got to give the robot time.
Yeah.
But I guess the kid moved too fast from the board or moved too fast after making the move out of the way.
Robot
I don't know.
Having that shit.
And the robot grabbed him. Why was it programmed to do that?
Yo,
that's wild.
Yo, who was programming it to say, yo, we don't got time to make it think faster, but we got time to add self-defense.
Here we go. There is video of the robot grabbing the boy's finger, and after a brief struggle, several bystanders helped to free the child's hand and take him away from the table. The robot did not like such a rush. He grabbed the boy's index finger and squeezed it hard. Bystanders rushed to help and pull the finger out of the young player, but the fracture could not be avoided.
As it could have, by not having a robot in the middle.
Yo.
This is awesome. Because like I've seen like the Rocky movie with like Ivan Drago, but like I Must Break You made way more sense. Like when he was saying it in a boxing ring. Like I didn't know that this was happening in chess matches.
Hey man, I mean, chess is, I think, very emotional, or it can be. I don't know. All I ever see are those quiet dudes like setting up tables at parks, like rows and rows of tables. And then, you get like just all kinds of folks just in there playing. But a robot is different. I never see a robot set up at the park. I feel like that's probably a bad idea, especially if the robot's out here grabbing fingers and squeezing. Yeah,
Oh
I just want
man.
to know why that was programmed. Like, how slowly do you need to move for the robot to not jump you? What is that? Do they tell the humans that? Like, hey, move slow, because these robots.
They got a mind of their own that I
Yeah,
programmed.
yeah, right. I programmed these robots when I was in a bad mood, so unfortunately.
This is freaking awesome. Oh man. Yo, shot some robots.
No,
You know what I mean?
you always shut out the wrong thing.
Oh man, just living your life. Just trying to play a little chess, People trying to rush you. You don't gotta take that shit, robot. Okay. You put
It's
these
a
people where they belong. At a young age, you gotta learn. Okay.
it's a tournament. It's a tournament.
When it takes all, including kids' fingers. Okay. Oh
What
man.
a
I hope they let you
that
finish the
poor
tournament
kid.
too, robot. Okay.
But also, I mean, no offense, but from what I know, from all of the movies I watched during the Cold War of the 80s, kids should have expected that the robot was going to crush its finger. Russian kid in Moscow kind of
Yo,
should have seen that coming.
they didn't even say he cried. They said he finished the tournament. Know what I mean? They didn't even mention the hospital. They put a cast like at the chess tournament. Like I
Yeah, it
fully
was
believe
probably
all this was there.
yeah, it was probably another robot who I'm in charge of cast or whatever. I think.
We expected this third broken finger this week. Let's wrap
Yeah.
this up. Oh man, they different out there, man.
That's so funny.
In other news, Chris Brown reacts to Dallas airport shooting suspect claiming she's his wife. That's right. Chris Brown is trying to figure out why he has so many stalkers these days. See, Breezy.
See, even he knows he's not supposed to be out here. Even he knows y'all shouldn't be paying attention to me.
Oh man, he took to Instagram stories on Tuesday to address the individual messing with his personal life. I don't know what's in my fucking music, but I got some of the craziest stalkers in the world, he claimed in the video. Hey, mental health is not something to play with. We looking out for y'all.
This motherfucker. Really?
Dude, wow.
You got crazy stalkers, do you? Now they're stalkers? They're crazy, huh? They're nuts. Are they perhaps ask a question and throw a chair through the window at Good Morning America crazy? Are they that kind of crazy?
Oh man. I don't
Are
know what's
they?
inspiring them.
Yeah, huh? I wonder what that could be. Who do you think is going to support you when you're a trash individual?
Real
Who
talk.
do you
This
think
is
is
your
going to be
fan
like,
base,
yeah,
bro.
but that's my guy?
Embrace him.
What? Get out of here.
Why not? Why not? So we mentioned Chris Brown, and our recording system just said, nah, we not having
I know. Proof. Proof.
it. Said just cut the news right there, be okay. My friend, the SSLR boards and those engineers have to suffer enough. You don't gotta talk about him when we not recording his singles, okay? This man out. Yeah, I'll literally go to the next article. Why not? A walrus named Freya is sinking boats and causing mayhem in Norway. That's right. A hefty and charismatic walrus named Freya is winning ardent fans and her share of haters after taking up residency in Norway harbors and hauling her 1,500-pound self up. Why you gotta mention her weight? You know what I mean? You don't know if she's self,
Yeah, that's true. You don't
you
have to.
know? Self up to lounge on boats. This has been a problem for the boats that are not walrus worthy, as German broadcaster Duche Welle. I feel like I'm not trying to be offensive.
Yeah, that's Deutsch well. Deutsch well.
That didn't sound any better, admittedly, from my okay. Deutsch Well put in a video shot back in June. The video highlighted some of Freya's finer moments in the town of Kuragero, uh,
Sure.
where she spent some time earlier this summer. Two boat owners told the news outlet that they wanted Freya gone. Many people,
Mm.
however, have had the exact opposite reaction to Freya's antics and have flocked to the harbor to see the tusked icon in action. Unfortunately, both forms of attention have been stressful and overwhelming for her. More recently, she's been hanging around Oslo where the crowds are just too much. She
Oh,
doesn't get any
no.
peace, the walrus expert Rune I told the local news. A researcher from University of Southeastern Norway, said he observed TV news crews getting too close to Freya in their boats, hedging her in so that she couldn't get away. Additionally, harbor officials have been trailing her and spraying her with the hose to keep her off of boats. She needs to relax for up to 20 hours. When she is constantly stressed out by people and their presence, it's not good for her. I said that the area where around Freya should be cordoned off and kept people away from her. Meanwhile, Freya also continues to pick up fans from afar, with many people celebrating and rooting for her on social media.
Let me tell you something. This is a Freya household that I'm in right now.
Yeah,
I saw this story and I sent it to my roommate and I was like, "Look at this queen." I swear to you.
Freya gang, Freya gang, Freya gang. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Like I love that she's just like, "I'm gonna get on this boat."
Why
This looks
not?
like fun. She probably just looks like a bunch of rocks. Uh and then it just starts to sink as she's just climbing up and she's like, "What's wrong with this rock? Come on,
Yeah,
rock.
I'm
Oh,
pro.
pull your weight." Um Yeah, I want everyone to leave her alone. I get wanting to go down there and get a picture with her, but I don't I feel like you should not get that close to animals of the water. You know what I mean?
Okay,
Because we don't know what's going on underneath the water. Like
that's
I don't
fair.
and so I feel like everything that lives in the water is stronger than I think it is. So So I'm not gonna roll up on a dinghy and just poke this walrus.
Yeah, nah,
How
that's
do I know that she's not gonna pull out some walrus arms that we've never known about because no one's ever poked at walruses before, or they just never lived to tell the tale and squeeze my life out of me? How do I know
yeah.
that's not gonna happen? She's already stressed.
Leave
Y'all
them
just
alone.
yeah, and she's in Oslo. She's gonna fall in with the wrong crowd. You know how they do up there in Oslo. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding because I know that we have at least one listener in Oslo. There's no way. If we killing it in Belize, you can't tell me we're not killing it in Oslo, Norway.
The huge troops correspondents in Oslo.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, when in doubt,
So,
always remember, um, we're going into their house.
okay.
You know what I mean? Like it's water, like it's their place. You
Mhm.
know, like when you got, even if you on your boat is in their water.
Right.
Like you still in their shit. So yeah,
Yep.
they gonna check out the new rock in their yard.
Yeah.
That's all. So you gotta keep that in mind. You can't get mad. Like this is their spot. They
Yeah.
were here
That
before us.
we keep acting like, how dare they? No, how dare us?
Yeah.
How dare we come up in here with boats
Yeah.
and try to poke at her and stuff. We need to just
Exactly.
let her go. Let her go.
Ain't none of these complaints said Freya went into town and started like wrecking shops. Not one. She
Mm-mm.
was by the water trying to
Mhm.
chill.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Nobody bothers you when you go to the beach to tan.
That's right.
You know what I
Just
mean? Let her
know how
relax.
far know how far to go. Let her get her little
That's
let
it.
her sun herself on an inflatable boat that she thinks is a rock. Let her
You
do
know?
that.
Bring her a nutcracker, maybe. That's it. Let her chill.
Well, I don't know if we should get her drunk. I don't know if we wanna do that.
Have a good time out there, okay? Chill out,
Mhm.
Freya. In other news, new Hawaii park signs discourage feeding feral chickens. But there's a much larger problem going on, Sha. Earlier this month,
Uh-oh.
more than a dozen signs were installed across 5 parks on the Hawaii island of Oahu, Oahu,
Oahu?
Oahu,
Mhm.
to discourage residents from feeding feral chickens. But their increasing pervasiveness is about much more than just feeding the chickens. The island faces a significant problem with the birds. Across Oahu, feral chickens have infiltrated the lives of residents, from creating safety hazards to gathering in residential areas. The animal's group population has grown to a point that now requires the city's intervention. A series of complaints from homeowners dealing with the wild animals in both private and public places, predominantly about the noise, led to the installation of these signs. But where these feral chickens came from remains a bit of a mystery. While it's hard to determine exactly what led to their prevalence, Nathan Sirota, the spokesperson for the city and county of Honolulu, Department of Parks and Rec, points to the island's domestic chicken population as a potential cause. It's a bit of a complicated matter because legally people in residentially zoned areas can own chickens. They
Mhm.
can have two chickens on their property. More than likely, it was the domestic chickens that got loose and just started procreating. Bang. With the strong presence of domestic chicken owners in the area, addressing the feral population has been a hurdle. There's a bit of a split in public opinion on it. Some people don't mind them and actually like the feral chickens. Others will complain about the noise and the nuances, the nuisance that they have had. Con- Containing the animals in any capacity has proved to be an obstacle for another big reason. They're chickens.
Mm.
I love that. Chickens don't really care about jurisdiction. Yo, he had to say that. My man had to make a public statement about that. They're gonna go where they want to go, and they can fly. So, in efforts to control them, they may go from a park to a private residence to another area, like a state jurisdiction. So, it can be difficult to try and control them in the trapping sense because they just will go all over the place. Wild animals don't really care about these jurisdictional boundaries.
That's so funny. It's like we can have all the talks that you want about how the chickens came to be, where someone's domesticated one, or was there already one wild one, and then they got together, and now we got these half breed, half wild, half domesticated chickens. All of these questions, the noise, and is it okay to even all of that? But I mean, ultimately, the big issue is you can't cage no bird now. You can't.
Oh my
A
god.
bird is one of the freest of the animals. We
Yo,
can't do
low
much.
key, I
Mhm.
want one of these signs. That should look
Wait.
fire.
Oh, you like the design of the sign?
I love the sign. If you are in Hawaii, if you're a listener, if you are willing to risk taking down one of these signs illegally from me and shipping it to me, I will pay all costs. Yeah, this thing looks awesome.
Okay,
Please
make
be
sure we've got to post the picture
yeah.
of the sign.
It looks dope, like artistically. I feel like
Yeah, it is a nicely designed. I'm saving it right now. Wild chicken. Okay.
yeah,
Um yeah, it is a nice sign. You ain't wrong. It's a good sign.
yeah. I'm pro the sign. Like I almost wanted to continue to be a problem so that they continue to put more of these signs up. I feel like decoratively this is good for the city. This should just be a thing. Like even after the chickens go away, just keep putting up the signs. Like
Yeah,
these
just
are
to
just fire.
remember. I just don't think those chickens are gonna go away. Look, I was where was it? When I took that cruise and we stopped at St. Croix, there were a lot of chickens just kind of running around, a lot of roosters just kind
Hmm.
of walking around. And I was like, I mean, that's cool because we just got off of a boat and we're getting ready to get back on that boat and leave. But I wonder how this would feel if I had to come into work every day and there were a couple of fucking chickens in front of my car. And I'm like, God damn it.
Hey,
Yeah.
I famously tell a story about my grandfather bringing in chickens,
Yeah.
and I he brought them to our hood in Brooklyn when we did not know where he got them from. Um, but he just kept bringing them, and I know like after they moved away, like they had the chicken problem there for like 10 years because of how
Mhm.
many chickens my grandfather brought there. And like I still get people that hit me up like, yeah, I saw a chicken on that block the other day. Like, and it's been like a decade and change more. Like people still
Hey.
randomly see chickens in that part of town. My brother-in-law used to like text me pictures of chickens on Cleveland, the J train stop
Oh my
that they would
god.
like make their way up the stairs whenever he was coming home from school back then. He'd be like,
That's
yo,
so funny.
it's just chickens up here. They a block away from your grandfather. Just chilling. And there's no other reason for it. It's just they was out there because it was too many for his yard after a while. So it was just
Oh,
walking
wow. So you
neighborhood.
really need the sign.
Yeah, no,
Like,
I'm all about this.
oh my god.
Straight up.
That's so funny.
Yo, people would hit me out like,
I
yo, you got the
mean
chicken on the J train, my G.
I mean, at this point, the chickens got jobs. New York chickens, they ain't just
Yeah.
they're not just for food. They're also, like, running errands and,
Straight up,
you
yo.
know, going to school and everything.
Hell yeah. I mean, you gotta figure this is like a second, third generation chicken at this point, like
Yeah,
they're
yeah, definitely.
Americanized. They got goals,
Yeah,
you
trying
know?
to, get their degree.
The latest
Being
one probably want to be a comedian. Like he's just
I know.
aspirational and an artist,
Well, I
you
know, but I
know?
bet his mom is probably like an anesthesiologist, and it's just like, "You're gonna be a doctor." He's like, "But I just wanna tell these jokes."
You know? These cluck yucks, okay?
Oh, no. I should sign out right now. I should terminate this whole thing. How did the war report end? It was doing so well. I don't know. Gastor told a joke about chickens, and Shalewa just
She had enough.
she
That's it.
flew the coop.
Oh man.
Uh,
Finally, CEO buys 50,000 lottery tickets and plans
mm,
to split the jackpot with the employees if he wins. Fast
mhm.
food chain CEO Todd Graves purchased the tickets at a cost of approximately £83,000 and hopes that his employees will bag a share of the 672 million-pound jackpot. The generous boss has decided to purchase 50,000 lottery tickets. The CEO of U.S. fast food chain Raising Cane, Todd Graves.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he bought
Alright.
the tickets at the cost of roughly $100,000. The jackpot for the Mega Millions was at $810 million and was due to be drawn that evening. Graves announced the massive purchase through a video on Twitter, which showed the lottery machine printing the tickets. Buying 50,000 lottery tickets is harder than you think.
Yeah,
Hoping
they gonna run out of paper.
Oh man.
And now that you used up all their paper for your little scheme, now everybody in line behind you
Tight.
has to wait for them or just be like, sorry, we're out of paper. Now they got to find another place. So now you just made a whole look, CEOs, I understand that you have to have big thoughts and dreams. You're a big idea kind of person, and you got to see the vision and all that kind of shit. But like, you got to have somebody who's like, hey, maybe we should break down these purchases to a few different locations.
Mhm.
One, because they're not. It's all from the same place, and if you know anything about lottery like folklore, you can't just get them all from the same place. You got to switch that shit up. There's the one that's like 3 miles down the road. They got more winners. This one is good for the scratch offs, but the one down the road is good for the. So and you're depleting with your little scheme, your little viral moment that you're trying to have.
Yeah, yo.
Oh
I
man,
mean, he
look,
admits it. The payout would only be 16,000 each if they hit because of the amount of people on the staff.
yeah, but that's
So
still
that's still
isn't
nice money though.
that's still more than the fucking minor league baseball people.
Ouch.
Oh man. Oh,
Jesus. Well, good
that
luck to everyone over there. I hope to hear that Raising Cane's has a undue amount of resignations because of their
Here's my question. So he bought all these tickets, right?
right.
And he's going to give a ticket to each employee, yes?
I think he bought a ticket for each employee, but he's keeping them.
Oh, but he's keeping them. And
Yeah.
then if one of them hits, he's going to split that money.
Yeah.
All right. Because I thought he was going to give it like each employee gets their ticket like assigned to them. And then if only one employee wins, they supposed to share that shit? Or are they just going to be like, I'll take that ticket and I'm out?
You know what I mean? I don't know what you're talking about. I
What?
ain't win nothing.
I've
but I'm
never
also
worked there in my
resigning.
life. Yes, right. I'm putting in my notice and I've never worked here.
Oh man. I am hoping that this happens for them. I also hope it doesn't because I didn't buy a ticket for that one. And I want to buy a ticket for the next round. So I think it'll hit $1 billion officially. If,
Oh, really? Because there was no winner for the last poll, right?
If no one wins, it would hit $1 billion.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Lotto, $1 billion, baby. We're gonna change the game right here. All right. I know the first thing I'm gonna do too, Sha.
What's the first thing you're gonna do?
Buy a whole bunch of cameras for this podcast. Take it to the next level. It's gonna be crazy.
That's the first thing you're gonna do?
First thing I'm gonna do, yo.
Wow, you better than me.
Taking it to the next level, baby. If you would like to see the War Report expand to 30 different angles of me and Sha. Still from our separate apartments, though. We ain't we're not trying to commute now. Let's get real.
Right, yeah.
All you gotta do is like, subscribe to the show, baby. If you are an Apple or Spotify listener, we appreciate your ratings. They sincerely help. 4 stars. You know what I mean? You don't want to see the multi-cuts of this podcast. It's gonna be crazy. Different. I'm gonna be pointing at different angles like this a lot. I'm gonna have 2 interns, one at each of our houses to run tech support so that they can figure out why stuff cuts off when we mention Chris Brown.
I mean, I think that's self-explanatory. I think that's the ancestors. I don't know if the interns.
Oh man, 5 stars. You are about it. All right. You here for the up angle camera, okay? It serves no purpose, but you can see what my desk looks like. You know, why not? You know, I know y'all want those cuts. We're gonna have them for you. Okay. If you have any articles you want us to cover, please DM us directly on Twitter or Instagram at Silky Jumbo or at Gastor Almonte. Much love again this week. We had a ton of people submit articles. We were able to use articles from Brandy Spain, Damaris Scotland, Kimmy Marie, FCV, LJ, and Davida Karanas. Much appreciate all of y'all, sincerely. And to the ones we didn't get to, we'll get to y'all soon. With all that said, I am future lottery billionaire Gastor Almonte. Okay, with one of the few people I'm splitting in with, Shalewa Sharpe.
I'm just the walrus trying to find a boat to sit on. He's the billionaire, but I'm the walrus.
Yeah, here, gang, gang, baby.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh man, this has been a weird war report. Okay, a lot of emotions. Catch y'all next time. Peace. Oh man.